at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, which will be the venue for the Lake Region Economic Bloc Sugar Conference 2023. Preparation is at a very advanced stage. The theme of the conference is revitalization of the sugar sector in Kenya. And so far we have 14 out of 15 governors who have confirmed attendance. We'll be having over 100 members of parliament attending this inaugural sugar conference. We also expect the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Right Honorable Moses Wetangula, who will be the keynote, the chief guest will give the keynote address. We are also expecting on Saturday the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, who will of course do the closure. So there are quite a number of researchers, the farmers representatives have been invited as well. We're expecting to have discussions around how to come up with solutions to revitalize the sugar sector. And some of the areas of discussion, of course, will be looking at cane production, which is a critical component. Of course, the President has already expressed himself with regards to government supporting cane development for public sugar factories. We'll delve in issues around the farmers' welfare. Of course, the pricing of the sugar that we produce here will be a factor. Issues around importation of sugar will be critical because we know that what we generate total is almost 700,000 tons. Of course, again, it's a demand of 1.1 million tons, so there's a deficit of almost 400,000 tons. One of the other discussions that is critical is around the management model of the sugar sector, which will be discussed. People will bring around some thought leadership with regards to appropriate management model so that we can see a difference in our sugar, especially the public sugar factories. Of course, the funding model will also be discussed. We are aware that there is a sugar bill in the House, not the National Assembly. The President has already talked about Cabinet approving a write-off of 117 billion debts owed by sugar factories. But of course, a conversation will be also be important around the private DFIs that have advanced sugar factories, monies like Propaco, AFW. So we'll have a conversation around the funding model. So all those around 5 thematic areas, including legal and regulatory, where members of parliament will highlight some of the issues around the sugar bill. And lastly, we'll have an opportunity of members just getting to understand some of the recommendations that were brought up in the last task force report of sugar. So those are the issues which we can converse tomorrow and Saturday. And we're expecting at the end of this conference, we'll come up with a communique that will definitely issue the public and also find a way of having a document presented to the President.
Maybe on the issue?
We actually welcome the issue of diversification because last week we just did groundbreaking of the county aggregated and industrial park in Likuyani, which basically will be a center for collecting the farm produce to facilitate or other exportation. We are focusing on sunflower. We're also focusing on value addition in dairy, that's milk. We're also looking at edible oils because we're spending a lot of money, billions to import. And this, of course, will also create employment opportunities for the young unemployed youth. So we welcome the aspect of diversification because there's a lot of potential. When you go to Shinyalu, we have potential in a tea. We're actually setting up a tea factory in Shinyalu. We're also looking at having a milling factory for maize in Lugari. So basically all those initiatives of diversification will go a long way in creating employment opportunities and also giving farmers an opportunity to export their produce.
Maybe there's also
I know those are some of the issues which will be conversed tomorrow and on Saturday because these companies, for example, Zoya and Mumias, where I see I cannot advocate for merging of these two companies because they are distinct, and at least they are complying with the regulations that were set by the Kenya Sugar Board then in terms of the distance between them. I think the conversation around owning the nucleus and issues around raw materials will have to be discussed at length so that those private companies that set up sugar factories here, they need to tell us where they're going to get raw materials. So that's one of the issues which will be discussed tomorrow, because if somebody comes to set up a factory and there's no nucleus, then we'll have to ask questions with regard to where they'll get the raw materials. So the issue of merging factories, I don't think whether where I see it, I'll recommend it, but it's something that can be posted tomorrow so that people can deliberate on. Yeah. The attendees tomorrow, we have the Minister for Agriculture, that is Honorable Katika who will be coming. Of course, he's the highest representative of government. We have the Minister for National Treasury, Prof. Will come. So what we expect tomorrow, there are two things. Number one, we are going to enrich the sugar bill. That will be going to third reading. Some of the conversation here can be a very good input to the sugar bill that's already on the floor of the House. That is the National Parliament. We also are looking at resolutions that will be presented to the President by the leadership of Western region, and some of these recommendations may find themselves on the floor of cabinet for approval, because they'll have serious ramifications with regards to what the President wants to do for the sugar industry. So it's very clear, and that's why we have high level representation tomorrow from the Minister of Agriculture, the National Treasury, Parliament. Of course, the COG governors will be here. So we are looking at a very structured way of implementing the resolutions. Maeneo ya kwamba hatuko na serikali mpya, na pia tangu tukuwe na ile task force report tumekuwa pia na emerging issues ambazo zinajadiliwa hivi sasa. So ukiangalia kongamano la kesho litatilia mkazo sana ile task force report, na ukiangalia ile sugar bill ambayo iko kwa parliament hivi sasa imetilia mkazo mapendekezo ambayo wakulima walitoa kwa ile task force report, na pia ukiangalia upande wa madeni ambazo rais amesema amefutilia mbali, pia ni jambo ambalo litajadiliwa kesho, kwa sababu kuna zile kampuni kama Mumias licha ya kuwa na madeni za serikali, pia tuko na madeni za wale private investors kama Propaco ambalo litajadiliwa kesho. So kongamano hili sio ati alitazalisha matunda, itatilia mkazo ile task force report, na pia tunapatia wakulima nafasi watupatie maoni. Ukiangalia kama wale wafanyikazi wa Mumias siku iko na ile task force report au kwa na deni ambalo wanadai Mumias hivi sasa wanadai karibu shilingi bilioni 2.3 ambayo ni pesa ambazo hazijalipwa wale wafanyakazi. So hii ni kongamano ambalo litatilia mkazo mambo kama hayo, na mimi ningependa kuwakaribisha wakulima wote na pia wale wote ambao ni washikadau katika sekta ya sukari wakuje tujiunge na kesho. Asante.